Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Akeem Lawanson filling in for Stella Chung, and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. I'll keep this really brief because we have a packed show for you. From everything Starfield, details on the Fallout TV show, a new portable PlayStation device that's way too expensive for what it does, Sony raising the price on PlayStation Plus, and an update on the GTA 6 leakers who used a frickin' Amazon Fire Stick to hack Rockstar and try to blackmail the crime simulator developer for money. Kinda ironic, right? Anyways, let's get into it.
The GTA 6 footage leak from September of last year caught everyone off guard, especially developer Rockstar. Well, thanks to a British court filing, we now know that the hacker responsible was a teenager, and he committed the hack with an Amazon Fire Stick from a hotel room while he was on bail from another hack. Now that's how you get a 5-star wanted level. The BBC reports 18-year-old Ariane Curtage, part of the hacker group Lapsus, was caught, quote, red-handed in, quote, flagrant disregard of his bail conditions by London police in his aforementioned hotel room, along with his weapons of choice, an Amazon Fire Stick plugged into the hotel television, alongside a keyboard, a mouse, and a smartphone. According to the BBC, Curtage also allegedly attacked companies like Nvidia, Revolut, and Uber. A second Lapsus member, a 17-year-old who cannot be legally named due to his age, was convicted for his involvement with the group as well. During the Rockstar hack, Curtage posted to all employees via their Slack messaging service, quote, "I am not a Rockstar employee, I am an attacker." And he declared he downloaded all the data from Grand Theft Auto 6, the upcoming title from their massively popular flagship series. He also threatened to release the source code if Rockstar did not contact him immediately via Telegram, and it's not clear if there was a direct follow-up to that, but over 90 clips of in-development gameplay were published online by the username Teapot Uber Hacker, which sounds a lot like a guy who also hacked Uber, huh? Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said, quote, "We take leaks very seriously indeed, and they disappoint all of us. It's really frustrating and upsetting to the team." It's not clear if any money was made by the hackers involved, and both teams will be sentenced at a later date. Speaking of later dates, no release date for GTA 6 yet, but Take-Two has hinted the game could launch in 2024.
Now, just yesterday, it was discovered that Xbox has ditched their $1 Game Pass trial offer. Now, not to be outdone by the competition, Sony also has some bad news for their fans. Yeah, price hikes across the board for PlayStation Plus. Currently in the US, PS Plus subscriptions break down like this. Now, per year, the lowest tier essential category is $59.99, middle tier PS Plus Extra is $99.99, and the top shelf plan PS Plus Premium is $119.99. Whew, that's a lot of money. Now, starting September 6th, the plans will be $79.99 for PS Plus Essential, $134.99 for PS Plus Extra, and $159.99 for Premium. Now, that's about a 33% increase on all one-year plans. Whew. Now, over on the PlayStation blog, Sony issued a brief statement explaining the significant price hike. Now, the statement says, quote, "This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high-quality games and value-added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription services." Now, we took a quick glance at what the PS Plus service offers, and nothing's really changed. So this could be the victim of inflation like practically everything else. Now, with this plus price hikes over on Xbox Game Pass and AAA game retailing for $79.99 brand new, it's an incredibly expensive time to be a gamer. Now, what's your take on all of this? Does PlayStation Plus and by extension Xbox Game Pass still offer a good value for the average gamer? Now, you get access to multiplayer features, free games every month, and depending on the tier, cloud streaming wherever you are. But is it worth it? Is it though? But are you making use of these features? Let's talk about it down below in the comments. Now, you know that magical nanny once said a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And in the case of PlayStation Plus price hike, Sony's also revealed the free games you're getting next month. I have no idea what that has to do with a magical nanny, but I said it. Starting September 5th, all subscribers get the rebooted Saints Row, Black Desert Traveler Edition, and Generation Zero. Yep. Some bangers there indeed. Yeah, especially Saints Row. Anyway, we weren't too keen on the 2022 reboot of Saints Row, giving it a 6 out of 10, saying it's full of, quote, shallow shoot-'em-up thrills, but it's a very familiar and uninspired brand of sandbox fun. I didn't have much fun playing it. It was very tedious, so I don't even know why we called it fun in that review. It was not fun. Anyway, a year's worth of updates have made the game a little better from a technical standpoint with stability and performance increases. Now, Black Desert got a 7 out of 10 from us, and you may want to give this particular sandbox fantasy MMO a shot since the impressive looking Crimson Desert was shown off at this year's Gamescom opening night live. Now that one's a single-player RPG that may or may not be set in the same universe as Black Desert. And finally, we have Generation Zero, a co-op open-world shooter from 2019 that's set in an alternate 1980s. Now, it's got mechs and survival elements. Those are pretty cool, and a cool vibe. But it only got a 4 out of 10 from us here at IGN. At least it's free. It's free, guys. Now, if you're a subscriber, of course. Yeah. And finally, Activision unveiled the Lara Croft operator skin that's coming to Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer in the new season. Now, she'll be part of the Tracer Pack Tomb Raider bundle, which also adds her signature dual Mach 5 pistols. But it's Lara's overall design that's getting the attention of Tomb Raider fans. Back in 2021, Crystal Dynamics announced a new Tomb Raider game that will try to unify the timelines of the original games developed by Core Design and the rebooted trilogy that began with 2013's Tomb Raider. Now, fans are speculating that the new Call of Duty Lara Croft might be hinting at her look in the next game. Now, longtime Tomb Raider fans will know that the original game gave us Lara Croft that's been raiding tombs for some time, and the reboot showed her origin story. That was pretty nice. So now we may get a game that bridges the gap between 2018's Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the 1996 original. Now, bear in mind, the franchise has more than new games in the works. A second reboot of the movie series is happening over at Amazon with Phoebe Waller-Bridge attached to write, and an animated series is coming to Netflix starring Haley Atwell. Now, it looks like Lara will be keeping busy hunting for treasure, exploring ancient civilizations, and maybe running from dinosaurs sometime. I don't know.
Starfield is almost out. We've been playing it, well, not me, but other people at IGN, and so have a bunch of other people. Players have been discovering all sorts of things in the game and, of course, testing the limits of what you can and can't do in the open world. Recently, a leaked video of gameplay shows a player running into an error message after walking in one direction for about 10 minutes. The error says, "Boundary reached," with a prompt to open the map and explore elsewhere or return to your ship. This seems to run counter to developer Bethesda's claims that you can explore entire planets. In an August 21st exchange on X, user Jeff Threat tagged Bethesda's head of publishing, Pete Hines, and asked, quote, "When I land on a planet, will I be able to explore that whole entire planet?" End quote. Hines responded with, quote, "Yup. If you want, walk on, brave explorer," end quote. Yep, walk on right into an invisible wall, apparently. Of course, many took to social media to call out Bethesda for lying about Starfield, but there were those who were quick to defend the game. As spotted by Kotaku, streamer Darius Fears addressed the boundary reached issue, saying that it's not a persistent problem. Fears said, quote, "There is nothing stopping you from exploring the planet. It just may be a loading screen, or you may have to land at the next spot, which is a short loading or cutscene to continue exploring the same planet." Forbes' Paul Tassi said that the drama is, quote, "very stupid," end quote, and honestly, I agree. Windows Central's Jez Corden also chimed in, saying there's inaccurate information being spread online and to wait for proper reviews after the embargo lifts. Inaccurate information making the rounds online? Can't say that I've ever heard of that happening before, especially in video games. Well, if you want our opinion on Starfield, you can check out our review when the embargo lifts this Thursday. I'm so excited. In related Microsoft news, the company has removed its $1 Xbox Game Pass trial just days before Starfield launches to the world. Coincidence? Maybe not. Microsoft had already announced that they were doing away with the 30-day trial for $1 offer, replacing it with 14 days for $1. Oh, and raising the prices across all their other Game Pass plans. But now, as spotted by Polish gaming site XGP, it seems that the $1 offer is completely missing from the Xbox Game Pass sign-up page. A quick glance at the site and yeah, looks like it's gone. Bethesda's Starfield will be making its debut on the Game Pass service on Friday, so subscribers will be able to play the massive space RPG on day one without having to pay extra for the game. It's just a bummer that you can't do it for $1. The lowest tier on offer right now is $16.99 USD. We've reached out to Microsoft for comment, so check back with IGN for more. And finally, Nintendo has announced a new Direct, this one focusing on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. The hopefully wonderful Direct will stream online this Thursday, August 31st at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and will run for about 15 minutes. We're all pretty excited for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, seeing as it's been a while since we've gotten a proper 2D entry in the franchise. Super Mario Bros. Wonder launches on October 20th on Nintendo Switch, but check back with IGN later this week for the latest from that Direct. And that's not the only bit of Nintendo news that we have today. According to Circana, the Nintendo Switch has surpassed the Wii in total US sales. That's an insanely impressive feat, as the Wii is one of the best-selling consoles of all time with more than 100 million units sold worldwide. And hey, Circana's got you stats nerds covered on the all-time standings. The Switch is just under 1 million units away from catching up to the Xbox 360, and fewer than 5 million units from passing the PlayStation 2, the all-time sales leader for home consoles.
Good news, you'll never have to say Project Q again because Sony's officially calling their new device PlayStation Portal. It's a gaming handheld, sorta, because it's not a standalone device, it streams games via remote play from your PS5. So while it's not a true follow-up to the PSP, you can play PlayStation games away from your main TV or monitor from wherever in Wi-Fi range you like, probably the bathroom. Sony also announced the device will cost $200. Another way PlayStation Portal is different from most portables is that it features full-size gaming controls, featuring a design that is essentially a DualSense controller minus the light bar split in half with an 8-inch 60Hz 1080p LCD display in the middle. It's a pretty big departure from the designs of, say, the Nintendo Switch or Valve's Steam Deck, but it actually weighs less than either of those while providing familiar standard controls and haptics. The Portal also features a USB-C port, a 3.5mm jack for wired headphones, and a small pair of speakers if you like not wearing headphones and annoying everyone around you. It supports Wi-Fi and PlayStation Link, but oddly not Bluetooth. To be clear, the PlayStation Portal isn't doing anything you couldn't already do on the PS5, but it optimizes remote play better and makes your actual PS5 home screen, library, all of it more accessible by a mile. The Portal can also wake up your PS5 just by turning it on, and the device does not need to even be on the same network as the console, but both would need strong and stable connections available to work. Our own Bo Moore got to spend some time hands-on with the Portal and summed up the device's ideal use case by saying, quote, "The Portal is unlikely to be someone's primary way to play PS5 games, that's what your TV is for. But for times when someone else wants to use the TV, or maybe you have small kids in the home and you don't want to put God of War on the big screen, and maybe you just want to be able to play in a different room without buying another full-on TV, in that scenario, the Portal offers a compelling use case." Check out our full hands-on preview of the PlayStation Portal on IGN.com.
All right, it's time for us to take a very quick break, but when we come back, we've got a possible release date for GTA 6, an update on the Fallout TV series, and a look into how long Starfield is going to take to beat. Now, I'll give you a hint, it's not short. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Weekly Fix. Now, Starfield is looking to be one of the biggest releases in the latter half of 2023, and with that, tons of details have been coming out about the game and its surprisingly long runtime. Now, we've got more info on the surprise reveal of the Fallout TV series and the untimely passing of one of WWE's brightest stars. Stick around.
Starfield may have a very long life indeed, and the main quest is in fact not the main event. That's according to Bethesda head of publishing Pete Hines at least, who revealed at Bethesda Mainstream at Gamescom, quote, "I'm here to tell you that this game doesn't even really get going until you finish the main quest." What could he possibly mean by that? Well, Hines noted it took him about 50 hours to complete the main quest line, but that was only after 80 full hours of not sticking to the main objective, doing who knows what until Bethesda head Todd Howard forced him to get back to the main goal. What a job. What Hines was doing for the 80 hours of free play isn't clear, be they side quests or what have you, but he did mention factions and the idea that it feels like switching from one game to a different one altogether. Quote, "The number of hours does not matter. Telling somebody, oh, I played Starfield for 40 hours tells you nothing about what that person has done," said Hines, leading me to believe that you can either spend a lot of time in this game or you can just fully dissociate with the concept of time in general and lose track of all reality. I'm interested in both, to be honest. It's possible that when Hines refers to the game, quote, "really getting going," he could mean Starfield's recently revealed New Game Plus mode, which, according to Todd Howard, will feature a unique and exciting twist that will incentivize continued and repeat play. He wouldn't talk about the main quest line either, citing how spoilery it is. And while there are leaks out there in the wild expanse of the internet, the majority of Starfield's massive story beats are still mysterious to non-spoiler seekers. Starfield launches August 31st, along with IGN's full review, but we have a primer article available now on IGN.com.
Todd Howard gave us all a pleasant surprise at this year's Gamescom when he dropped a nice teaser for the upcoming Prime Video series Fallout based on the storied video game franchise. Now, in the teaser, we see glimpses of the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, fans of the Fallout series will definitely remember them as they've appeared in every single game in the franchise in some form or fashion. Now, the trailer also featured various nuclear explosions, a vault opening, and Walton Goggins as a ghoul character, which are people from the video game that have lost their flesh due to the nuclear radiation. Now, as of the recording of this video, the teaser has yet to be released publicly, but for those in attendance at Gamescom this year, it was apparently a sight to behold. Now, the visual effects and production quality were reportedly impressive, telling us that Prime Video is putting some major money behind this particular project. Now, as for where the show takes place, Prime Video tweeted out this image that pinpoints it as Vault 33 in Los Angeles. Now, as for the story, Todd Howard confirmed last year that it'll be different from anything that played out in the video games. Now, he went on the Lex Friedman podcast and had this to say about Fallout's story.
When it was, people would say want to make a movie, they wanted to, tell the story of Fallout 3 or then tell the story of Fallout 4. And for this, it was, hey, let's do something that exists in the world of Fallout. It's not retelling a game story. It's basically, an area of the map, and let's tell a story here that fits in the world that we have built, doesn't, break any of the rules, can reference things in the games, but isn't a retelling of the games that exists in the same world, but is its own unique thing. So it adds to it, while also people who haven't played the games, who can't experience how crazy cool Fallout is, can watch the series. And so
now, that's honestly a good thing, as the world of Fallout is massive and it'd be nice to see a part of this universe that hasn't already been explored in the games. Now, the Gamescom teaser ended by revealing that the series will be released in 2024, so the video game adaptation will find its way out of the vault real soon. Now, with Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan helming the series, all eyes will be watching to see what Fallout is like. All right, now speaking of adaptations, Netflix is gearing up for the release of One Piece, the live-action adaptation of the anime series. And we've got some new images released showing the attention to detail the team is taking to making sure it's accurate to the source material. Now, Netflix released these images showing the transponder snails, which fans will more than recognize from the anime and manga. Now, they definitely look more creepy in real life than they do in the anime for sure. Now, in the anime, at least they have a bit of a cutesy charm to them. Now, no matter what they look like, I'm just glad they were able to bring them to life in the live-action adaptation. Now, I was definitely on the fence when this Netflix series was first announced, but the more I see of it, the more I have a little more faith in it being done right. We'll have to wait and see come August 31st what One Piece is all about. Disney has updated its Star Wars website with a comprehensive list of eras, summing up where each of its TV shows and movies fit within the timeline, and a brief 2-sentence synopsis of the Old Republic era, giving fans a lot to chew over, especially you Knights of the Old Republic diehards. Now, StarWars.com posted this breakdown of all the different time periods, with the logos of each entry in the franchise appearing within their corresponding era. But not for the Old Republic, which has yet to be explored in either animation or live action in Disney canon, making this one of the first and most high-profile acknowledgments of the underexplored time period in Star Wars history. Now, the website states that, quote, "The Republic is founded among the worlds of the Galactic Core, and the Jedi Order emerges to protect it. A schism within the Jedi leads to the creation of the Sith in this epic era." Now, the synopsis largely keeps intact the broad strokes of what happens during the Old Republic era of Legends canon made famous by BioWare's Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic, which takes place 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire. You can also see on that page that the Dawn of the Jedi era, which is as far back as the Star Wars timeline goes, remains blank. But we know that's when director James Mangold's Star Wars movie is set, which he's mentioned will be a biblical epic akin to the Ten Commandments, delving into the origin of the Force and where it came from. Now, no release date on that movie just yet. So my question to you is, do you think the Old Republic would be a better fit for the big or small screen? Now, what type of project would you like to see exploring the Old Republic? Comment down below, let's discuss. And we have a premiere date for Rick and Morty Season 7 coming to Adult Swim October 15th. Now, the Rick and Morty Twitter X handle posted this with the reveal showcasing a really cool poster featuring Rick, Morty, and Summer. Now, movie fans will recognize this as a parody of the Bad Boys movie poster featuring Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and Téa Leoni. Now, maybe this is a subtle way of teasing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence will voice the titular characters. Now, of course not. Anyways, regardless, it's great to see them back in action and coming back in just a couple of months. But I think most fans are more interested in hearing what Rick and Morty will sound like without co-creator Justin Roiland. Now, Roiland was let go by Adult Swim earlier this year after domestic abuse charges were levied against him. Now, those charges have since been dropped, and Roiland released a statement on Twitter stating he's determined to move forward, focus on restoring his good name, and work on his creative projects. Now, what those creative projects are remains to be seen, but at this point, it can be assumed it'll neither be Rick and Morty or Solar Opposites related. Both Adult Swim and Hulu have severed ties with the creator and likely have no plans of bringing him back on board either projects despite the recent legal developments. And while we still have no clue as to who will be voicing Rick and Morty in true Adult Swim fashion, the company did joke about what we can expect from the new voices in the official synopsis for the upcoming season. Quote, "Rick and Morty are back and sounding more like themselves than ever. It's Season 7 and the possibilities are endless. What's up with Jerry, Evil Summer, and will they ever go back to the high school? Maybe not, but let's find out. There's probably less piss than last season. Rick and Morty, 100 years, or at least until Season 10. The synopsis jokes about Rick and Morty sounding more like themselves than ever, which could mean what show producer Steve Levy teased at this year's Comic-Con could hold true on the direction the team's taking with the new voices. Quote, "We are closing in on the end of our process of the recast. It's going to be great. I'm thoroughly impressed. That's the thing, I don't want to be overshadowed." And he also confirmed that they'll be using sound-alikes, but the characters will remain the same characters. Well, I would hope so. Even Adult Swim's president had words to say about Season 7. Quote, "Thanks to the talent of the entire show team, we can all enjoy 10 new episodes that yet again raise the bar for comedy and animation. This season proves that the geniuses at work on Rick and Morty are just getting started." Now, while both Adult Swim and the crew behind Rick and Morty have a lot of confidence in the upcoming season, fans will have to wait and see what we can expect come October 15th. In other news, Dune Part 2 has been delayed to 2024. And with the ongoing WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, it should be no surprise that WB decided to push the film from its original November 3rd, 2023 date to March 15th, 2024. Now, the stars of the film will likely be unable to promote the movie in solidarity. Now, this has definitely affected WB's release slate, with the next Godzilla, Kong, and Lord of the Rings films being moved to accommodate Dune Part 2's shift. April 12th, 2024 and December 13th, 2024 respectively. Now, as the strikes continue, we'll likely see more movies being pushed back and delayed, and we'll keep you updated as things progress. And our final story is a sad one as wrestling fans mourn the sudden loss of Wyndham Rotunda, aka WWE superstar Bray Wyatt. Now, Triple H tweeted this message informing fans of the tragic news. He reportedly suffered a heart attack after a bout of COVID earlier in the year exacerbated some existing heart problems he had. Now, it's been a terrible week for wrestling fans as Hall of Famer Terry Funk also passed away a few days ago at the age of 79. Now, Bray Wyatt wrestled under many aliases throughout his professional career, the most notable and iconic being The Fiend. In and out of the ring, his creativity was endless, and at the age of 36, the WWE Universe, the WWE family, lost a legend far too soon. Now, he'll definitely be missed by friends, family, and fans alike. I'm Akeem Lawanson, and that was your weekly fix. Now, we'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news. See you then.